tell you, it was hot out there today. You needed a lot of water if you were out on a walk or running or anything outdoors.
Right, 92 degrees, 1 degree shy of the record high, 93. Wow. It has been hot, and it looks like no cold fronts are on the way. But I must tell you that there was an outage from the Casey Key webcam during Irma. That's right, Irma took it out, but I checked it today, and it's back online and beautiful out there. Out on the Gulf. You know, if you're by the water, it's not too bad. Really quite nice there with water temperatures into the mid-80s. The water temperature keeps it a little bit cooler near the coast. And look at that. See the showers off in the distance there? Just a few widely scattered showers. A beautiful shot that is. And we're happy to Casey Key webcams back into action. And speaking of Casey Key, Fred Seeger, who is a contributor and sends in a lot of photos, and great shot right here. One of those showers off in the distance right as the sun was setting. And then this vibrant and brilliant rainbow from Lakewood Ranch, Maryland, getting this one. Appreciate that photo right there. That is brilliant. And then another nice sunset at Lido Beach, Stone Castle, getting that one. Some clouds in there. And get a look at this guy. This guy, Rick Davis, he's a meteorologist out of the National Weather Service in Ruskin, Florida. And he lives up there in Braden, and he gets out there and surfs every once in a while. He knows when the waves are going to be big, and he was actually helping battle fires out west, and now he's with the forecast out there with the firefighters, and now he is back in town, and he had a chance to ride some of those waves. That's a good wave right there, too, on Holmes Beach this past weekend due to Nate. No storms around now. Things are fairly quiet as far as any significant rain goes, but you'll notice a little bit more moisture along the East Coast tonight, and that means that we are going to see a little bit better chance for some showers and storms, not so much tomorrow, but as we head into Friday, a better chance for some scattered activity. You can see some storms well offshore right now, and that is going to be the case, I think. They'll continue to move off toward the west. Right now, we have fair skies, 80 degrees, and the dew point temperature at 73. We have an east wind at 9. The pressure 30.05 inches, still high, and that continues to rise at this hour. I mentioned that high temperature today, 92. That is well above the average. Typically, we get only up to 86 this time of year. We haven't had any of that beneficial cool down quite yet, but 93 the record, and they tied a record high in Tampa today at 94 degrees. We're going to see similar conditions again tomorrow with an east wind. Whenever we get a strong east wind and no real sea breeze developing, we see temperatures soaring into the low 90s. I think we'll see that again tomorrow. No rainfall to report. We'll start to add to that rainfall total, though, I think, by Friday late, and then continuing into the weekend. Some scattered showers will be back in the forecast. As far as the forecast goes, tomorrow a high of 91 degrees, well above the average, and generally sunny skies. The rain chance will be less than 20% throughout the day, too. And the forecast is looking like this as far as the futurecast goes. You can see some of that moisture starting to work its way in from the Atlantic across the Bahamas tomorrow and into South Florida. Not for us quite yet. And even Thursday, it stays at bay down to the southwest. Now, there is a frontal system that is going to be slicing right through the northern portion of the state. And that's where it ends. It stops right there about Gainesville, just to the northwest of Gainesville, and doesn't get much further off to the south. So we'll stay in this warm sector at least through this weekend and beyond early next week. By midweek next week, there's a chance that we may see some slightly cooler temperatures move in, but that's not very good of a chance. Now, as far as the tropics go, we're watching this area. As I mentioned, it's an upper level feature, although it has that counterclockwise spin to it. It's in the upper levels of the atmosphere. On the other side of that, we still have a tropical system out there. We have Ophelia, which is now the winds not all that strong. They're down to 50 miles an hour. It's moving to the southeast at 6, but there's still a chance that it could develop into a hurricane and then move off toward the northeast. A little unusual to see a storm this time of year that far out and that far north of latitude, too, in the Atlantic during this time of year. You don't get that very often. Well, as far as the hurricanes go, you know, we had our peak, and we did see quite a few storms around at September. And then there's a secondary peak. So we get through the first few weeks of October, and then the last half of October, there's a little secondary peak there. So I still expect to see at least 1 or 2 more storms developing in more likely the Caribbean, for that matter, as a result of the warmer temperatures there. You see them all in the mid to upper 80s there, and a little bit cooler as you move out into the Atlantic. And also right there where Nate moved through, temperatures have cooled in the Gulf of Mexico. During the peak of the season, these were in the upper 80s to near 90 degrees all throughout this region. Another good thing is that storms that do develop late in the season aren't nearly as strong as we saw this past summer when water temperatures were near 90 degrees. Well, there is a cold front coming through, but it's not going to make it all the way down here with that low pressure area moving through Illinois. For boaters, tomorrow looks good. Have a light chop on there, and seas will be running 2 feet or less. The water temperature is still warm, 85 degrees here anyway. UV index at a 10. Tides upcoming 3:53 in the morning for a high tide. Low tide will be at 12:55, and then a high tide at 4:59 tomorrow morning. Here's the forecast then for the next 7 days. 20% chance for showers on Wednesday. Jumps up to 30% on Thursday. Better chances come Friday at 40% when you know it, football Friday night again, and then 40 to 50% chance over the weekend.